Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode. I'd like to continue on with the series for fall 2019. If you're not aware of it, I went back to Japan again, and of course I came back with tools. Surprise. Factory Gear is the place where I purchased all these tools. If you're not familiar yet, Factory Gear is a store in Japan. They have multiple stores in Japan. So if you're ever vacationing in Japan and you happen to have some time and you're interested in tools, if you're watching this, you're probably interested in tools. So check them out. I'm pretty sure you'll find something there that will be of interest to you. So let's just start off with, let's just say that all of these items that I bought are in some way different. I wouldn't say unique, but they offer something that perhaps other manufacturers don't happen to have yet. Why don't I start off on my left here? The brand is called DEEN. You may or may not be familiar with the name. It is Factory Gear's house brand. Pardon me. This particular item, it's a multi-purpose scissor. The stainless steel that they use is surgical grade. Now you might be wondering or thinking, I've seen this in whatever brand. Eras before, or it's just recently offered. This is just a copy, isn't it? Just another rebrand. Not in this case. DEEN, or Factory Gear rather, they are the ones who have offered this particular product way longer than anybody else. In fact, this particular model, the 908 SC, DNP 908 SC, is exclusive to them and nobody else. That is an agreement that they had with the OEM in Taiwan. So if you see a similar item, it could be an imitation or it could be a rebrand, just in a different name. Let's take a look at some of the specifics or finer things of the tool itself. I like the broad handle here. If you happen to be cutting something really heavy, tough, you got the extra surface area as a cushion. I got some copper wire here, and that is an area where you can use to cut cables, maybe stranded wire. So it has no problem cutting that, not surprisingly. Here's some stranded cable. Likewise, I'll do the same thing. It's going to get messy here. Not bad. I mean, not clean, but it gets the job done. And as far as I can see, no damage. So it's got the serration on this end and smooth on this end. That basically prevents whatever material you're cutting from slipping on you. What else can I cut here? I got zip tie here. Should be able to cut that without any issue. Oh yeah, no problem. Very easy. I mean, not the recommended tool for cutting the ends off zip ties, but just to demonstrate. Got some tissue here. Yeah, no problem whatsoever. Maybe you can listen to the sound. Yeah, so that's that. Comes with a holster. Velcro and a button snap. Alright, so I got that one done. Let's move on to how about this bit ratchet here. Now, you're probably already familiar with bit ratchets. This one in particular has a extension, so you can use it like this with whatever hex. This is magnetized on the end. And another interesting thing about this is on this end, you can also insert the extension or bit. You can use it like this if you had to. But most of it you're probably going to be using it just the bit ratchet itself or with the extension. Now here's the thing, I can go like this as well. So that effectively makes it like a T-handle tool. So you can put your bit on the end there and get some decent leverage out of that. So there's two ways to use this. So you see the dotted line there. It's only on this one corner. So if you align that with the dot on the ring gear, that allows you to basically use it as a T-handle. Otherwise, it stays put. Obviously, flex handle, so you can use it various degrees for clearance or whatnot. Now you might be thinking, oh, this is I've seen this from a different brand as well. Yeah, the factory gear is not the manufacturer of this. You know, there's so many other various brands around the world that basically rebrand to make it into theirs. Not into theirs, but you know, they got different brand names that are slapped onto these bit ratchets, which all come from the same OEM in Taiwan. It's just the nature of the tool industry, whether it be American, Japanese, or Taiwanese or European. Yeah, this is, by the way, my oldest bit ratchet, which I got a little over 10 years ago. As you can see, the dead giveaway here is the reverse gear, but over the years they've switched to a ring gear that doesn't mention that. Like, even though the size is a little different, this is a really mini bit ratchet. As you can see, the dimensions are quite a bit smaller on this one here. In any case, don't want to go on too much about bit ratchets. That could be another separate video. But DEEN has been offering this since 2015. So way before some of the other brands that have come to offer this variant. This was part of a set that I bought. So you get the bit ratchet extension and 50-piece bit in a bit box. So it comes in a metal case, and there are the bits. So lots of security bits, including triangles, which I've never encountered yet, but it's good knowing that I have it if I ever do run across them. Includes SAE Imperial size security hex, pentalobe as well, and all the other common stuff. Comes with this bit holder, which is a type that I've never seen before. It may look like a locking, but it actually isn't. By the way, all the bits are stamped with DEEN and the proper size. They're machined, I would say, pretty standard in this day and age. You don't see any crudely manufactured bits these days. So that ball right there, if you depress it, just kind of ejects the bit. So again, this is not locking, if that is something that you're looking into. Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next product. What do we got here? Let's see. Let's do these files. Now, files, mundane product, nothing really exciting. Files are files, you're probably thinking, but not in this case. We got a manufacturer by the name of, it's not written anywhere, but the logo is, at least a dead giveaway for me, that logo is Tsubosan, a manufacturer that's been in the business of file making, probably for as long as the Japanese have been making files. They specialize it. This is all that they do, and what's unique about this is the special coating, as you might probably already tell that it's got this shiny coating on it. Now, guys, I don't know the specifics of the coating. However, I can say that these have been offered for probably around 10 years. It's been featured in magazines in the past. So essentially, these are not prone to clogging. I'm not going to say it's 100% clog free, but that is the main feature of this, is that it prevents, or I shouldn't say prevent, it is less prone to clogging when you're working with softer metals such as aluminum or copper. So that's the Bright 900 series. This one here with the black handle is something, it of course offers the same surface finish. However, the cut is meant for deburring purposes. So you got like angle iron or something like that you cut off for grinding something, and you got the burr that you need to quickly get rid of. This particular profile is meant particularly suited for the deburring process. So again, Tsubosan is probably, well, it is definitely has the largest market share in Japan. They have a very vast knowledge and expertise in file making. They offer tons of products. I can't remember the number that they offer. Let's move on to some pliers. Pliers made by 3.Peaks. I featured this brand in the past. As you can see, two-way nippers. What's that about? So let's just get on with the unique feature of this pliers, which is a new release, relatively new. It's about a year or so that 3.Peaks offered this into the market. So as you can see, it looks pretty standard, other than the plastic spring, which is removable if you don't care for that. It's got a elastomer grip. It is yes, stamped in made in Japan. So yeah, just looking at it, nothing out of the ordinary. It looks like a pair of diagonal cutters. side profile, yeah, typical diagonal cutters. And you look here, 3.Peaks, KB150 is the model. And then you look at the back side here, and you can see it says for plastic. Okay, so there are plastic pliers that are specifically made for cutting plastic. But then you got this over here, and that is pretty much standard looking pliers. So basically, what they're saying here, where was that? Two-way nipper. Is that on the back? Yeah, two-way nippers. So, what this is trying to explain is that near the pivot, you can cut hard wire, and the outer half is meant for cutting plastic, like zip ties. You could do a flush cut. So it's just some of the specs there. Let's see. 56 to 64 Rockwell hardness at the cutting edges. My particular model, which is the 150S. Let's see what's some of the more important stuff here. Steel wire, you can cut 1.9 millimeter diameter. Stranded wire 2 mil. So let's just get back to cutting these zip ties. One of my pet peeves is, when you encounter zip ties that have the ends that are not cut flush, and if you're not careful, you end up scraping the crap out of your wrists or arms. So as you can see here, nice and flush. We can't do it very well looking at through the camera, but focus. There we go. I think you can see that. Yeah, nice and flush. And likewise, and let's see. When I cut some stranded wire. Now, something like this, I have no issues using the end. I've used cutters that are meant for plastic to cut stranded cable wire like this. They have absolutely no problem doing that. However, something like this, I would not use plastic cutters to cut that. But this being a two-way, I can cut this too. Of course. Dual purpose. Now let's look at some steel wire I had somewhere. Here is a steel wire. This is like something that's commonly used in the shop, mechanics wire. No problem. All right. Okay, so I thought that was pretty cool. Something different from a well-regarded pliers manufacturer in northern Japan, from 3.Peaks, the two-way nipper. What do I have next? Oh, I got these little adapters from DEEN. Nice kind of low-profile adapters from quarter hex to a square drive, quarter and 3/8. And finally, we arrive at this product. I quickly featured it 2 videos ago. Item from Koken. Kind of a weird looking wrench. T-style format with a ratcheting boxed end. This is obviously a laminated style ratcheting wrench, 10 mil, non-reversible. I don't know what the tooth count is, but I would imagine it to be around 22 or 24. So what's special about this? Well, let's just let me go like this first. That collar, by the way, moves. So in this particular setup, I can use it like a like a long wrench, ratcheting wrench. But the main feature would be the fact that you can. There's 3 detents. I just moved it 1 detent over, and that exposes this articulating arm. It's basically a pivot, so it moves that way or that way, and that allows you to do interesting things like this. So this was actually recommended to me by one of the staff at the shop who used to be a mechanic at a Subaru dealership, and all the mechanics there had one of these, 1 or 2 in different sizes. So that was a recommendation. I asked him what was something different that you guys have, but some of the other stores may not have, and so this was his pick. And he showed it to me, explained it to me. I was like, okay, yeah, I don't know if I'll ever use it. So I browsed around the shop, and I eventually came back to it. It just tickled my mind. The fact that, so I'm going to slide this one more over. And that exposes yet another articulation in a different axis. So you got this way, and then you got this way. So I don't know. He showed it to me, and at first I was like, it seems kind of gimmicky. It may be gimmicky. I don't know. I couldn't think of a scenario, but it made me think of a scenario where I could possibly make use of this. It just tickled my mind. I don't have a particular scenario where I might be able to use this, but it just made me think, oh, maybe I might be able to use it one day. Kind of different. It's just a different tool. You don't really see this from any other manufacturer. Although he did say that Blue Point at one point, or maybe they still do, offers one, but it only has 1 articulating arm, not this double style that Koken has. So there you have it. That covers all the items from factory gear. So again, if you ever have the chance to head over to Japan and you're a tool geek, tool aficionado, and you happen to have some time, head over to factory gear. I'm sure there's going to be something there that will tickle your interest. Until next time, you guys have a good one.